ladies and gentlemen. We're back once again for another amazing science tutorial video. And in this video, we're going to look at classification and taxonomy. So let's begin. So what is taxonomy? Taxonomy is the science of grouping and naming organisms based upon common characteristics such as homologous structures, life cycles and development, evolutionary history, DNA, and protein structure. So if you look at the picture below, you notice we have the most amount of organisms right here, but then as we move up, you notice it becomes the least amount of organisms and becomes very specific. So major contributions to classification and taxonomy, well, you have two scientists that made major contributions, specifically Carolus Linnaeus. But we're going to talk about Aristotle first. He made a simple system and he grouped plants by either herbs, shrubs, or trees. And then if it was an animal, does it fly? It was in the air. Does it swim? It was in the sea. And does it crawl? That means it was on land. His classifications were simple and he used common names. Now, Carolus Linnaeus, he described organisms with two-word names instead of polynomials. He developed a binomial nomenclature, which means he used two words to describe organisms. The first word was the genus name. The second word was the species name. So, for example, Homo sapien. Homo is the genus name and sapien is the species name. The taxa in order from largest or the most kinds of organisms to the smallest and one kind of organisms are stated to the side right here. So we start off with kingdom, we go down to phylum, then to class, the order, the family, the genus, and then to species. Notice that it gets more specific the further we go down. The genus and species are used to name organisms and give their scientific names, and this is called binomial nomenclature, like we mentioned in the previous slide. So taxa traits and characteristics. So members of the same species can mate and produce fertile offspring. If they're not of the same species, they can't mate. They can mate, but they won't be able to produce fertile or living offsprings. Number 4, taxonomists use a two-part naming system to identify an organism. So the scientific name of an organism is the genus and species of the organism. This system of name is called binomial nomenclature once again, and it was developed by Linnaeus. Number 5, a group of related species are in the same genus. 6, a group of related families are in the same order. And then a group of related phyla are in the same kingdom. Notice as it goes up and becomes more inclusive each time. So now let's take a look at domains. The tree of life groups all living organisms based on evolutionary relationships into large inclusive groups, primarily based on the presence or absence of a nucleus within the cell. The largest taxonomic group is called the domain. The two groups of prokaryotic organisms are so different from each other that they are grouped into different domains. So the original concept that all bacteria or prokaryotic organisms should be classified in the same kingdom called Monera has been altered. The three domains are Archaea, Bacteria, and Eukarya. And Eukarya includes the kingdoms Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. So we have a picture of it here up above. So if you notice, we have Archaea, we have Bacteria, and we have Eukaryota all listed up above. And these are the three major domains of life. So now let's complete an activity on the characteristics of the different kingdoms. And you're going to fill in the information that I provided you for the different kingdoms. You're going to Google the information for the kingdom Eubacteria, or previously known as Monera. So let's begin. So the kingdom Archeabacteria, or previously Monera, the cell number is unicellular, it's prokaryotic, and it has cell walls. Its nutrition is heterotrophic and autotrophic, which means that it has to consume other organisms, or some of them can receive nutrition from sunlight. Locomotion, many are sessile, which means that they are still, they're not mobile, and some are mobile. Then examples, we have bacteria, we have E. coli, we have Staphylococcus aureus, and then we have extremophiles. The kingdom Eubacteria, previously known as Monera. In this one, you're going to actually Google this information, and you're going to put what the cell number is, the cell type and description, the nutrition, locomotion, and the examples. And you can use the information from the previous slide to help you identify what you need to put in for this one. And then the kingdom Protista or protists. The cell number, most are unicellular, some are multicellular. The cell type and description, they're eukaryotic. Some have cell walls and some do not. Nutrition, some are heterotrophic and some are autotrophic. Locomotion, some are sessile or not mobile, and then some are mobile. Then our examples, they're animal-like protists like protozoans, amoeba, paramecium, and then you have plant-like protists like algae, euglena, and then we have fungus like protists. Then we take a look at kingdom fungi. Their cell number, some are unicellular, and then some are many are multicellular. The cell type and description, some are eukaryotic. They have cell walls. Well, all are eukaryotic and have cell walls and made of chitin. Nutrition, they're heterotrophic. Locomotion, they're sessile, so they're not moving. Examples we have are mildew, yeast, mold, mushrooms, and saprophytes. And then if we take a look at kingdom Plantae or plants, which we are most familiar, one of the ones we are most familiar with, the cell number, they're multicellular. The cell type and description, they're eukaryotic. They have cell walls and they're made of cellulose. Cellulose is what helps hold them up and give them their structure. The nutrition, they're autotrophic. They receive their nutrition and energy from sunlight. Because remember, they use the process of photosynthesis to use that sunlight to make food for themselves in the form of glucose. And then the locomotion, they're sessile. Plants don't move. And then examples, we have oak tree, grass, and moss. And then kingdom Animalia or animals, which is the kingdom that we're in. The cell number is multicellular. The cell type and description is eukaryotic, and we lack cell walls. Our nutrition is heterotrophic, so that means we have to consume other organisms to get our energy. Our locomotion, we're mobile in at least one stage of our life cycle. Then examples, we have sponge, an eagle, earthworm, horse, and a human. So you're going to summarize what the classifications of organisms is based on below and based on the information that you've received in this tutorial. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this tutorial was helpful and beneficial to you. I'm Spivey signing off with my son Jordan Spivey. Peace, and y'all have a wonderful day.